What would you tell that 17-year-old girl about what lies ahead of her?
Well, the one thing I would definitely say is don't sweat it. Like, I used to stress out so much when I was 17 about the littlest things. Everything felt like it was, the world would come crashing down. And I think now, 20 years since then, I can definitely turn around and say that, take a breath, smell the roses, drink some coffee, love life. It's great.
Oh my gosh. Pri, I hope you're staying safe in London because I know you're filming at Text for You. So are you staying safe? Everything's going okay on that front?
Well, we've just wrapped Text for You, and I'm prepping for Citadel now, which I get into. But it's a scary time, and to be on a set, I know it's allowed by government laws for us to be able to shoot, but just as an actor, I'm the only one who's like really taking off my mask, and it's like scary to think about that. But the best part is all productions are being so careful with testing and with distancing that I feel kind of safe as well.
Good. You are not only a star, but honey, you are also bringing us content that brings, South Asian stories to the forefront. Was that always the plan all along for you when it came to producing, to bring stories of people of color to the forefront, to show them, to empower them, to let their stories be heard and seen?
I mean, for sure. When I started my production company in India, the stories that I started telling were not mainstream stories. I started with regional stories because I learned very young, very early in my career, that I have a platform which can, sort of propel opportunity for where it doesn't exist. And when I started working in the US and started working on producing, the reason I actually fought for White Tiger, I got my agents to call the producers. I met Ramin 4 times. I said, I'll audition for you, I'll do whatever, but you're not making this movie without me. Because I read the book and it was so compelling to me. And I know this is one of those stories that originate from India, but is completely universal. The class disparity that we see, and we've recently seen even in the US, it's massive, and it's super topical. And to me, it's very, very important to tell stories. South Asian stories are truly important to me. Female stories and people of color, it's extremely important.
Driver!
I'm Pinky. Nice to meet you.
Balram, have you ever seen a computer?
We had many of them in the village with the goats.
The goats are pretty advanced to use computer.
Okay, now you're being a jerk.
Pri, this movie is phenomenal. I can't wait to go back and read the book, but it is incredible. And Adarsh, I hear that...
Our star!
I know, dude, you knock it out of the park. And I tell you, I hear that they had an extensive search to find the perfect person to be cast in the role of Balram. And here you are, you get the part. And what does it feel like to you?
Yeah, I just feel incredibly lucky that, I got to work with a team like this and got to work with Ramin as a director, because this amount of artistic freedom that all of us got as actors was incredible. Right from the first audition that I had with Ramin, he just allowed me to fly with it. He gave me so much space to work with and included me at every junction of the film. Even if it was for the clothes I wear or for the kind of things that would be in my office, he would ask me, what are the kind of things do you think would be in your office once you were the businessman, or what, do you like this shirt or do you like this one better? So when you get so personally involved with like a film and a character, then it's just very difficult for you to not give everything that you have to it. And I think the 3 to 4 months that I spent with the film, including the shooting for it, were probably the biggest. It was probably the biggest learning curve of my life, just to be on it and even offset when I was prepping for it. It was incredible. I just feel very lucky.
Well, honey, you put everything into it, and it is evident because your work is fantastic in the film. What was it like having Miss Priyanka Chopra Jonas as your boss? Come on.
I was so intimidated the first time I had to go meet her, and we met at her house for a reading, and I was in my pants when I was on my way up. How is this going to be? I just kept telling myself that I've just got to be normal. It's all right. She's also a human being, and it's going to be fine. And I walked in, and Raj and Ramin were already there, and she just came and hugged me, and then we sat and spoke, and I was so comfortable. Like in 5 minutes of being in a house, I completely forgot that I was sitting next to like a global star.
Yeah.
And that's such a cute puppy that you have on the couch. I'm sorry I got so distracted.
Spike,
No.
sorry, Spike is such a scene stiller, but I gotta say, she has an effect on people.
She'll just make you feel special even if you haven't done anything special. Like you
I,
just feel nice about yourself around her. That's what I realized.
the power of Pri, right? Girl, I love that Instagram post that you just put out there. It said, lean, mean, and all of 17. Pri, what would you tell that 17-year-old girl about what lies ahead of her?
Well, the one thing I would definitely say is don't sweat it. Like I used to stress out so much when I was 17 about the littlest things. Everything felt like it was, the world would come crashing down. And I think now, 20 years since then, I can definitely turn around and say that, take a breath, smell the roses, drink some coffee, love life. It's great.
Exactly. And hopefully part of life, I read recently you said you wanted to have a cricket-sized family. What does Nick think about that? Does he want maybe a chess team instead or maybe a basketball team? I mean, cricket, that's what, like 11 players? Come on now, Pri.
Yeah, that was a statement I made many years ago. What I was trying to say was don't hold on to statements that I made like 10 years ago. I don't know, I'll take whatever I can get when it comes to Nick and I.
Well, hopefully it'll be soon because we need some more Joe Bro babies out there, honey. And they're going to be talented and beautiful, I can tell you
Girl,
that.
stop with the pressure. Look at this big ass movie that's coming out right now.
No pressure, no pressure. Just saying, Pri, just us girls talking. But I got to ask you finally, the current state of the industry. Look, we're seeing our second spike in COVID right now. We're also seeing films being rolled out in streaming platforms and on demand more frequently. This movie is another case in that point. What do you make of where the industry is going to go from here?
I definitely think between COVID and between, the internet and the streaming services that have come in, the industry has changed. It's never going to go back to that time when, we only had theatrical releases. But for sure, I feel like it's the evolution of entertainment and the evolution of the business of entertainment. COVID has shown us that, this is the beginning, and we as a world are super vulnerable, but it's also shown us that we're also resilient. Look at the way we've sort of adapted to being able to do interviews like this. You and I would be sitting in front of each other and having this conversation, but we're all three of us are in 3 different parts of the world and we're doing this. Yeah. So the show keeps going on, and I feel like this is going to be an evolution. It's going to be something to watch out for, but I don't think theatrical is really going anywhere, because when you want to watch that amazing movie, you want to get your popcorn, you want to sit with people. I think once the world opens up and we can actually meet people again, people are going to want to go to the movies.